What's up, YouTube world? It's your boy J Dub, the #1 comment on YouTube, and I'm back with another review. Today, I will be doing one of my favorite shows. It's almost like watching a new show because I haven't seen it in years. I don't even remember when it last came out, but it definitely left an impression on me. That is Love Is Blind. We in season 2, and this is going to be episode 1. Now, for those who are new to my channel, I do light detailed reviews. I don't go over every single scene, and in some cases, depending on what show it is, I don't go in a particular order. I give an overview, give my opinion of the situation, add on my little stuff, and of course, being the #1 YouTube commenter, I'm looking for y'all to put your comments down in the comments section because that's where I live. That's where I get my energy. That's the best thing about this channel. Again, I don't say, please subscribe, please like the video, please. I don't care about none of that. Get down in those comments so we can interact, hear your opinion, learn, have fun. That's what it's all about, those comments. So as far as with Love Is Blind, I would say I didn't go back and watch season 1. But what I would say, what was so memorable about the situation where it is similar to the Love at First Sight, but it's also more so making a choice of who you want to be with. And the connections come off more genuine to me because the people are actually getting to know each other in such a short period of time. And then they're falling in love. That part I really don't buy because when you initially meet a person, most people are going to put their representative in front of you. They're going to put their best foot forward. And I guess they try to take away you focusing on the outer appearance and try to get to know the person on the inside. So that way you may connect better with the person. And as far as what I guess I like that about the situation. And then it gives an opportunity for the people to meet one-on-one and see if that connection is still as strong and really get them to see how they can deal with each other, I guess, throughout life, or give them some examples. Now, what I don't like about the show is that you're in a house full of people. Let's say they don't say how many people. It's about 20 candidates, 20 men, 20 women, and they actually go back and share the information that they have. And that could be real problematic because you may be interested in the same person and they're giving information about your private conversation. Now, that wouldn't happen in real life. Like, people date multiple people at times, but they don't have access to the other people that they're dealing with. And quite naturally, people will they'll get jealous. And in some cases, they're going to use the information that they hear to kind of manipulate the situation in their favor. So that's where I think they should kind of keep that together. At least take the person's name out of the situation, because to me, you're giving a person a leg up in a situation where they get information on your private conversation where they might turn it around on you. Because what about these situations is some people, they thrive in this type of situation. They know how to put a great representative up front. They put their best foot forward, and you won't even come close to scratching the surface of who they really are. So you can almost be like dealing with a salesman. They can sell themselves easy to you, but once you get to know them, it's going to be a nightmare. So as far as the couples, or well, we can't say the couple because no one's coupled it up. They have a host of people, all different races, shades, and sizes, and all of that. But they only really focus on a particular set of people. So really showing you who's going to really be together, because they don't invest enough in people who are not going to be on the show. So what I'll do, I'll go over the I guess the cast members and just tell you what I think about them. Go over a couple of scenes. So as far as the first one I put down, Natalie. She's an Asian young lady. She's 29. And she's some type of consultant. Now, Natalie, she gives me the impression like she doesn't really belong there. She seems like she's like on a higher level, like she's more mature, sophisticated than the others. And I was really surprised to see that, but really not, because throughout this process, you can pretty much see how like insecure these people are. Like I'm gonna say everybody has insecurities, but these people have like alarming, flaming insecurities, or they have certain red flags or deficiencies in their life to show you like why they're single. I really haven't figured out why Natalie is on the show. I didn't see her insecurities, but obviously everybody on here is about finding love. I'll go to the next one. Salvador. He's 31. He's in tourism sales, and I wonder what he doesn't. I never hear him discuss his career, because that could be anything. He could be a tour bus driver. He could be passing out pamphlets. I guess I would say that that's not a strong career to be in the I guess in the candidacy, but really Love is Blind don't really focus on that. They get people who are in the corporate world. They get people who are just regular working people. And Salvador, he's a Latino guy he's pretty laid back, and he says he's an emotional man. I guess a little more to emotion. He's telling me he enjoys crying, and while he was like, I guess, talking or getting to know people, he actually like mentioned race, like saying he comes from a Latino background, which normally people don't do that because they don't want you to kind of put them in a box or kind of let you know who they are in that sense, like in a physical sense. They want you to talk to them, figure them out, and see if you connect. Not so much mention your race. Because like, if I went in there and I started saying, well, I grew up in the hood, I'm a black man and all that. Really, you're not supposed to say that, or people normally don't say that. So I thought that was kind of odd. We go with Shane. Shane is 31. He's a real estate agent, and he's probably like the corniest, doofiest guy. I call him Doofy. That's what I write down my notes. It's like he got his new teeth, and he's kind of growing into them. He's like, I'm Shane. All you can see is his teeth, and he's like a real like corny kind of guy. And he's a guy who believes in affirmation. Like he wants you to compliment him. He wants you to affirm him. And he's kind of charming the ladies, but to me, he's just like a real playful surface kind of guy. But you can see that where he's lacking in those insecurities as far as his emotions, is just, he's going to be a problem, or there's going to be some issues or situation with him. So we'll go with Shayna. Shayna's 31, and she's a hairstylist. She's, I guess, the typical blonde. And Shayna, you can see Shayna's like a chameleon when she talks to different people. Like when she's talking to Doofy, she's like real playful and sexual, but when she's like talking to other people, she can be she can be like a professional, or like I said, you can see she can switch it up. So there's different multi-layers with Shayna, which I really haven't figured out all the way. It's still early, so I can't really put my finger on her, but we know she's gonna be wrapped up in some drama. So we have Ayana. She's 27, a young, slender black girl. She gives me, I guess, her hairstyle gives me the Jada Pinkett vibe. She's a program coordinator, and what we know about Ayana, she had a rough upbringing where she said her mother wasn't in a healthy space to raise her, and she gave her to her, I can't remember, she said her mother's cousin or something to raise her, and then she left after turning 18 and was adopted at 22 by somebody. I mean, I thought that was weird. Now, like, I do know in this rough world, like, children or young people, it's become more and more tougher to make it out there on their own. But I don't know, when you would need somebody to adopt you at 22, maybe it's for health insurance benefits. I don't know. But that came off kind of weird. Like, we went past that. I'm like, you were adopted at 22? That sounds kind of funny, But anyway, I can see that as far as with Ayana, that her baggage from her childhood and upbringing, it'll probably come in the problem with we're talking about being vulnerable, or those traumatic things she went through is going to show up in a relationship. So we got Jared. He's 31. He's a health care consultant. He's a black guy, tall guy. And he's pretty much saying that he was in the process of Love is Blind because he felt that he got into an incident with a friend where his friend tried to, I guess, murder him, stab him up. And he felt so bad that he was alone by himself and felt the need that somebody would need to be by his side. Now, I could get that because I guess almost losing your life will put a whole new perspective on life. However, is it a reason like why to be a motivation of wanting to get married? Because really you're just fulfilling a certain need, not saying I'm mature, I'm ready to settle down, and not so much like operating in fear, saying, yeah, I almost lost my life and I need somebody with me, because he made it. He's probably going to live for a long time. So I don't know if that's the premise he want to go off of being married. And we have Mallory. She's 32. She's a nonprofit manager. She's Latina. And we'll say what Mallory is. She's saying she's like a guy's girl. She likes sports. She likes to have fun. She's not like, I guess what we call a high maintenance girl. And in a sense, I would think that would probably come from the way she's used to guys dealing with her. So that's going to be kind of interesting. So we'll go to Nick. Nick is 35. He's a software marketing personnel. And Nick, he looks 35. And not that 35 is old. It's like everybody's on here is in their early 30s or younger. But he comes off like much older. I haven't really, again, got pinpointed on Nick. So we'll go to Danielle. She's 28. And she's in advertising. And now Danielle probably sticks out to me the most out of anybody. It's like we see Danielle she's like the most insecure out of everyone. You can see by the things that she say, like, I wonder if they'll like me, or she'll talk to a guy and say, well, I didn't know if you were coming back, or you hear those things. And we find out that she's lost a lot of weight, and throughout her life, she, I guess, has body image issues. And also she mentioned what some people may have not picked up, that she has some type of problem with, I guess, trust issues and anxiety. And of course, especially in this process, it's going to be problematic where you're just getting to know a person. You don't know a person, you meet them, get engaged, and then you're working your way towards marriage in 4 weeks. So we know those trust issues are going to show up. So we go with Kyle. He's 28. He's a construction worker. And Kyle has the biggest ears I've ever seen on a human being in my life. Kyle looks like an elf. And Kyle also looks like something else, but I don't want to give it away because we got 5 more episodes. But I'm gonna get into what else I think Kyle looks out. If you got an idea of what else Kyle looks out besides an adult elf, let me know before I say it, because I'm going to pretty much try to do these reviews back to back, but I don't want to give away a certain thing. And Kyle's just like a regular guy. He's always smiling or schmizing, as they say. Kyle doesn't seem genuine to me. He seems a little different and off. So we'll go with Shake. Shake is 32. He's a veterinarian. He's an Indian guy. He's like a taller Indian guy. And Shake to me is like how they try to put in reality shows. I like to put like a villain or a clown, or he's all that in one. Shake is like very abrasive when he speaks. Like he doesn't mind asking, how much you weigh or how old you are or what size dress you wear and all that. And he feels like that's like totally okay, because everyone on the show understands that Love is Blind is about not seeing the person. You're not really supposed to be focusing on looks at all. You're trying to get to know the person. And Shake is doing everything in his power to find out what the person looks like, to get an idea of what he wants. He doesn't like an older woman. He doesn't like a heavier woman. He doesn't, he just has all these superficial preferences. And come to find out why Shake is like that, he's more so, he had an issue. Like he was a chunky kid, as he said, and he's now projecting those body images onto other people. So, and not that he's in such an in-shape guy, but he's going to make sure that the woman he deals with looks a certain way or fits a certain bill. And we know that's going to be problematic in that this is a contest where you can't see the person and looks aren't supposed to matter, but it matters to Shake. And I don't like him. I don't even know why they focused on him, because we know Shake is like, he's straight up superficial. This process isn't for Shake. And the last person we got is Depti. I believe I'm saying it right. She's 30 and she's an information analyst. She's a tall Indian woman, and maybe they got her for Shake. I don't know. She seems again, that's kind of a general statement with all of them. Like, she seems a bit insecure, and she was also a person who pretty much was overweight. She weighed about 70 or 80 pounds overweight, and she's now lost it. But you can see that those insecurities are still there. Like I said, this is we see it. This show is full of people with insecurities all throughout. Like I said, a lot of people have them, but I mean, these are like, they try to find the people who are most insecure. So those are the main characters. Again, they reviewed. I mean, they went over a few people, but really didn't get into it. They didn't really make the cut. So they focused on these 12 characters that I just went over. So obviously they're gonna have to pair up. But after a few days, Nick, the older guy, 35, he actually decides that Danielle is pretty much the one he wants to propose to. And I was really surprised by that, because to me, if he really talked or listened to Danielle, you can really see how insecure she was. And I didn't think that was a good fit. Maybe he didn't have another matching that worked or anything like that, but he's ready to jump. He's ready to jump all in, because to me, pretty much their conversation goes, they were more so feeding off each other. Like, you like to do this? Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And that's what I go. So it's almost like reiterating somebody's point. To me, the connection wasn't there, but both of them believe that it's actually there. Now, on episode 1, it showed Shane. He pretty much has, I couldn't really say, but I'm going to call it anyway. He has a love triangle. He has a love triangle with Shayna and Natalie. And what you really see about Shane, I think his emotional intelligence is really low. Like, he compartmentalized these women totally separate, where like they don't even exist. Like, one minute he's always professing like, with Natalie, they have a future together. She's the one. He's writing hearts by her, and then nobody compares to her connection. And then 10 minutes later, it's like he can go in another room with Shayna and the first thing he always says was like, "So what are you wearing? Oh, a crop top. Oh." You know, it's real superficial. It's real sexual, but he doesn't really talk sexual with Natalie at all. It's always about the futures and connections. And, you know, maybe some women like the goofy thing kind of thing, because he got it. He got it like that. Let's say, I can't say like, oh, he's not a good looking guy, but he's like totally a straight goofball. Like, he's like unaware. I mean, even the guys in the, I was about to say the men's lounge just ain't ready to love. But when they live in court, he say, man, everybody knows your voice. You sound like Beetlejuice. And I died laughing. Look up Beetlejuice if you don't know what Beetlejuice is, the movie. So to me, we already know that's going to be a problem, because Shane, it's like he's one of those guys who will sell you the world, tell you how wonderful you are, you're irreplaceable, you're number one, I can't live without you, and then go into the next room and talk sexual with, you know, Shayna. And even Shayna has like a problem with that, because that's why I said what I don't like. The one thing I don't like about this show is once they leave the pods, they go back and tell all the other girls. Now, given these people have been talking to the same people, and to me that kind of taints the way you deal with them, because after Natalie goes in and tells them that Doofy or Shane is just her number one, and he wants her to be his girlfriend and all that, you can see that Shayna overhears that. So that's going to affect the way she deals with Shane. And it's like, to me, Shane plays he plays the victim. He could be the male Karen. So he actually goes into a pod and guesses the other person on the other side, even though I thought that was a bad idea. You meeting all these people, you can easily get somebody's name wrong or interaction because you can't see them. So Shane accidentally guesses that it's Shayna in the room and not Natalie. And he starts out with his one line like, oh, what are you wearing? And of course, Natalie knows that Shane doesn't ever ask her what she's wearing. So she's feeling like, oh, like, wow, you playing me or playing both. And then, after Shane realized that he made a mistake, he gets all goofy, like, well, it's not fair. It's just not fair that I'm going through this process, and I have to have other connections. I mean, if you don't even, if you can't understand why that I would, I'm talking to other people, then this is just not worth it. Like he didn't profess his love like twice for Natalie, and now he's ready to just throw her away like that. That should have been a red flag for Natalie to say, like, we ain't even go through nothing. You ready to just throw me away because you made a mistake? Now you the victim? I don't like Shane. I can say that. From all of, I don't like Shane and I don't like Shake. Shane and Shake. I can't stand either one of them. But Shane and Shake make for good TV. So pretty much the episode goes off of well, I'm forgetting the couples. The episode goes off of Danielle and Nick. They're preparing to meet each other so they can get engaged because Nick and Danielle's all in. I mean, Danielle to me would probably go with anybody who picked her. So it probably works because I didn't see any connections with Nick or Danielle with anybody else. So the love triangle is probably going to be the meat of the show. And not only that, we learned, like, I do remember from the last season where it's like in life, you can have a connection over the phone with someone, but it's totally different having that energy in the same room. It can totally change. It throws a person off, or that same type of energy isn't there. So once they meet, that's when the show to me really starts, because they going back and forth talking about they so in love and they feeling so good and all that. We know the mess is coming up. So overall, I was pretty satisfied with the show. It was in a good introduction. I just said the only thing I really just don't like is that they tell all their business when they go back to the same people who are talking to the same people they talking to. That kind of taints it for me. I just would like to kind of keep it anonymous. Maybe you could say, oh, I had a great time with my date or something like that, and not give too many details, and then because you're affecting the other process. So overall, I'm really excited about this show because I don't know. To me, I haven't even counted, but I know it's been years since the show came on, and I really, really enjoy this show. Netflix take a long time to kind of get their series going. Like, you get locked in, and they bringing it back. Who knows? The same thing with the what's the series? Ozarks. I was in the Ozarks, but they took like 2-3 years to come back, and now I gotta try to catch up with that. But I'm excited about this. So that was pretty much it for episode 1. I will be reviewing each episode individually. So we got 1 through 5. So I appreciate y'all continue to rock with me. Y'all could be anywhere in this YouTube world, but you're here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really mean it. Now check out episode 2 coming up soon.